My name is Dennis Simmons. I'm a Noongar man from Noongar country, obviously. I'm connected to the Warangi people, the Yuwit people and the Willaman people, and I was born in Wajak country, so I have a historical connection to this area. I'm currently studying psychology. I'm a grandfather. I've done many things, and I've been around a little while. So a quick introduction to the Noongar people and the tribal groups of the Noongar people. So for us as Noongar people, our boundary is the southwest coast or the southwest of Western Australia, and it goes from Perth all the way down the coast to Esperance, comes back all the way to Perth and just before Southern Cross, and then down towards the Geraldton area. So that's the boundary of the Noongar people. So in that boundary is 14 nations of people, 14 tribes of people, and some say that there's more tribal groups than that because it goes off the old Tinsdale map. So there's a bit of controversy around that, but basically there's 14 nations of people. And so within those people, we have the same language, so the Noongar language, but it does differ a little bit, obviously. Say, for example, the Balladong people, which is out towards Northam, are inland people. They have rivers, but they're not on the ocean. And the Warangi people, or the people, say, around the Bustleton area, they're on the ocean. So obviously their culture and their language differs because, one's an ocean people and the other one's an inland people. But pretty much amongst those 14 groups or tribes of people, the culture is very similar, the language very similar, and cultural tools is also very similar. So pre-settlement, our people, the Noongar people, were connected strongly to their country. We had 6 seasons here in the Noongar country, so if we was to start off with the summer season, we'd have Birok, Bunara, Duran, Mugaroo, Jilba and Kumbarang. And within those six seasons, we have certain plants, certain foods, certain animals and certain movements that we do within those seasons. So it wasn't like, because our people have been called nomadic, but we weren't really nomadic. We moved within the seasons of the country, and we moved as well as keeping with that energy of the area. So spirituality is very strong for Noongar people. It's actually quite a strong component for all First Nations people. But for us as Noongar people, the way we connect to land, the way we practice our culture. So a lot of the time now when the Noongar people perform, they'll do an Aboriginal dance. But the dances were always ceremony, and performing in ceremony is different to performing a dance. And ceremony is about connecting yourself spiritually to a movement. And the energy of that movement through your spirituality, through your totem, connected to your land, is always about the spirituality or the higher self, or achieving those higher places within yourself. So when you're performing, you go into a zone. It's kind of almost like an out-of-body experience, the way I feel it when I'm performing, and I find myself really connected. The impact of colonisation on Noongar people is very obvious. Obviously, when the ship came here, it rolled into our port and, pretty much destroyed our traditional culture, ceremony, animals, flora, fauna, or everything bore the brunt of that impact. Waterholes destroyed. It was pretty. For us, it was very devastating, and it just goes to show how strong the Noongar people are, that we've still managed to maintain a connection to land. We've still managed to maintain our cultural beliefs and cultural aspects that are significant to who we are. But colonisation was huge for us, and especially when you think about when the settlers first came here, they were a minority, and our people took care of them, put them in a position where they could thrive, where they would have water, food, understanding, healing, medicines, all those kind of things that we've shown them are now utilised to make money and without any ownership being bestowed back onto the Nyungar people who showed them. So I think, for us as Nyungar people, in a short period of time, 200 years, the impact has been devastating. But it shows the strength of our people that we're still able to survive and still able to thrive. And as Nyungar people, we've always been here and we always will be here. We're not going anywhere. So. Contemporary Nyungar culture is whatever we say it is. We do, we still have language, and that language has changed, but everything changes, culture changes. We live in a very modern world. We walk in two worlds. We are unable to practice a lot of our traditional cultures that we would have been able to do, pre-settlement, and post-settlement, that land and that space is just not available for us here at the moment. So the culture has to change. So we practice a lot. We go out and we perform a lot for schools, educating people about our culture. And whilst we're doing that, reaffirming, we still get access to national parks where we can go in and do those kind of things. Our style of traditional tools, hunting, spear throwing, those kind of things, obviously not utilised now. We usually, when we hunt kangaroos, it'll be with a gun. But the ceremony of it, the way we do it, the coming together as a family and the sharing and the partaking of the food, our traditional foods, is still the same. So it's been hard, but we've still managed to maintain a culture in a contemporary world. Look, for any students that would choose to work with Aboriginal people, you have to build yourself a little bit of resilience, be prepared, because for Nyungar people, we're not very trusting. We have been, we've had a lot of tough things done to us, and we've been tricked. We've been told lots of lies. So when you first come in, we're not going to be trusting, and we're not really going to listen to what you say. We're more going to go about the sort of person you are and how you conduct yourself, and whether we think that we can trust you and that you've got really good intentions. And if you can show us those qualities, then more than happy to work with you. I guess it's just about being yourself and being honest and trying to do good things within community, because I guess that's the main thing for us. But your first initial contact with an Aboriginal person might not be so as nice or as gentle as you want it to be. You might get told a few truths about colonisation and non-Aboriginal people and the impact on our people. But if you can get past that and understand where that comes from, you'll make a connection, and you'll end up having an awesome time. But you'll end up making some really good friends and meeting some really good people and doing some good things within community. So it's well worth it, but you just have to prepare yourself a little bit for that initial connection.